You know that moment when everything on the outside for you is absolutely fine, like it all looks absolutely perfect. But on the inside, it's a bit of a different story. A bit like the duck, you see gliding on the surface, but then underneath there's this panic that's going on. One of my clients said to me that I have the best business, I've created it in exactly the way that I want, my life is amazing, and yet every day I wake up with this feeling of dread, like this weight on my shoulders. And it feels like at any moment I'm just going to get pushed down into the ground. She talked about having this voice in the back of her mind that was saying on a daily basis, you have to get this right. You cannot get this wrong. You cannot make a mistake. And that thought, those feelings that she was having day by day, is what eventually led her to burnout, which is exactly the reason why she contacted me in the first place. So, hi, my name is Amy Cinnamon. I'm a hypnotist and a personal development coach, and I specialise in anxiety and performance under high pressure. I help leaders who are in high responsibility roles to take back control of their life so that they can actually get the shit that they need to get done and achieve the things that they need to achieve without falling into burnout. Now, most people think that burnout is about the workload, the demands that are placed on us, the demands of the boss, the demands of the clients, the demands of the kids. But actually, there's a whole host of factors when it comes to burnout. I only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to hone in on one specific area. Now, think about this. You can have two people have the exact same experience. Somebody said this to me tonight, so I'm stealing it. You can have two people have the exact same experience, and yet one of them is completely overwhelmed, and the other is absolutely fine. Calm, composed, confident, whilst the other one's reached burnout. What's the difference? It's their internal representation, their internal experience of that situation. It's not the outside forces that are different. It's the way that they think and feel about themselves. That's what's calling the shots in those moments. And for this client, this technique that I'm going to share with you guys in a moment is one of the things that really allowed her to change her internal representation. Because working with clients over the years, I've realized that when you change your internal representation, you change the experience. And hypnosis is just one of the ways that we can change that internal representation, which dramatically and rapidly changes your experience. So think about this, because decisions that we are making as business owners, as employers, let's stick with that. Those decisions we tend to think are just in one area, but actually it's not just about the decisions that we're making in business. It's also about the decisions that we're making day to day, the decisions in our personal life. You know, when you go to a restaurant and you're quite happy, everything's fine, and then you sit down, you pick up the menu, you open it, and then all of a sudden you have to make a choice. And you have to be quick because the wait is going to be over any minute to take your order. And this to-ing and fro-ing of, is it going to be too spicy? Am I going to like it? I want to pick the best thing on the menu. What if I get it wrong? And the person that you're with has already chosen, they've shut the book, the menu, they've put it down, and you're just slightly a little bit jealous that they've done that? Or, I mean, is that just me? No, yeah, exactly, right? And so we're making these decisions on a day-to-day basis with this slight little bit of anxiety. And when we have that slight little bit of anxiety, we're getting stress hormone released into our body. And how many decisions are we making on a day-to-day basis? Tons, right? So it's not just about what we eat. It's about who we might fire and hire. It's about who we're going to employ. It might be who we're going to invest in. It could be what software we're going to be using for our company. But it could very well be, which way do I go? Left or right? Which decision am I going to make in this moment is going to be right for me? Because all we ever want is clarity. That's all we're ever looking for. We just want to know what the answer is, right? We just want to know. But clarity doesn't come before action, it comes after the fact. So how can we feel a little bit better about that moment of making a decision? So play along with me, all right? Don't worry, I'm not going to do hypnosis, all right? But play along. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Close your eyes on down, if you will. And I want you to say these words in your own mind with your own voice. Repeat it in your own mind. I have to get this right. And I just want you to notice what that's like for you. Just notice what you can notice. I have to get this right. And then open your eyes up, take another deep breath in, close those eyes back down. And this time, I want you to say to yourself, I can only make the best decision that I can based on the information that I have right now. Notice how that makes you feel. I can only make the best decision that I can based on the information that I have right now. And then just open your eyes. And I will ask, did anybody notice a difference between those two different statements? Who's going to be brave and share? What was that like? The second one was better, yeah. Yeah, and
the first two I said have to. I felt like a little my chest went heavy.
yeah. And all it was one simple statement that you're saying to yourself, and already there's this heaviness inside of us. So when we change the words that we're using, all of a sudden it's a different experience. Now take that same idea and bring it to that issue, that something you've been putting off, a decision that you haven't made yet. Don't go too extreme, all right? We're just demonstrating, okay? Don't be going into anything deep and dark right now. It could be that email that you haven't sent. It could be that phone call that you haven't made yet. That decision that you've been putting off. Take another deep breath in, and as you breathe out, close your eyes back down, thinking about that thing that you haven't done yet or that you want to get done and you've just been putting it off. And say to yourself in your own mind, in your own voice, I can only make the best decision that I can based on the information that I have right now. And notice what you can notice about that. Good. Now, the fact that you're here and you've taken part in this event and you've taken part in that little exercise means that from this point forward, you are easily going to be able to find yourself making decisions that you need to make just by simply saying those words to yourself. I can only make the best decision that I can based on the information that I have right now. Now, of course, if you get to the other side of the fence and you're like, damn, that was not the right decision, doesn't matter. It's okay, because now you're in a new position. Now you have new information available to you. And it's a simple statement, exactly the same, with a little bit of past tense in. I only made the right decision that I could at that time based on the information that I had. Now you have more information. Now you can make a new informed choice. Make sense? Good. Let me check. This is a last minute thing, remember. So for those of you who might want more of this, I have created something that you can easily access by going to amycinnamon.com/10to-calm. That's where you'll get access to something that will help you just to release, to relax and unwind, just to release that daily pressure of that anxiety that we face. Let's be honest here. Something that can just reduce that buildup of that pressure. So if there's one thing to take away from this short time that we've had together, is simply this. Burnout doesn't come from the stuff that we have to do and all of that. It comes from believing that you have to get it right. Once again, I'm Amy Cinnamon. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.